Hi, this is Monster Restaurant 91, and today we're gonna change the oil pressure switch. We got a check engine light on the oil pressure. So you enter diagnostic. We have one code. No, I don't want to delete. Read codes, store codes. So I got the P0520. Now let's check the pending codes. The same one. Okay, so we have the oil pressure switch. It's a small switch which we're gonna replace. I'm gonna show you guys how to replace it. So if you get that, it might be the connector, which is most likely gonna be the sensor since it's old. You are gonna drip a little bit of oil maybe. Once this is a sensor right here, I don't know if you can see it. This one is on top of the oil filter, which is that brand new one over there. So this is oil pressure switch. So you get your scanner. Once you get, if you get a check engine light, if you get that code, the P0520 is gonna be most likely that. I don't know, you can see the red tab right there. You have to pop it up and then press a clip right there, the black one. So you might need either a pick like this or like a hook type like this one, and maybe a flat screwdriver. We'll see. We'll try the flat screwdriver. Be careful because usually this is plastic and it will end up breaking sometimes, the clip. So this retainer, the red retainer clip, is for vibration, so it won't come off when you're driving, especially on dirt roads. So it's just a safety thing. So just be careful not to break it. You could push it from the bottom or you could push it from the top. We'll try it right now and I'll tell you guys how I did it. I don't know, you can see where I lifted up, where I put the jack stand right there in front of the chassis. Here's the other one, and I put the jack, just a little tension on the jack. Also, like you can see on both sides, I put a jack stance so I could feel a little bit better. Even though this has 20-inch rims, but it still couldn't really fit. I could fit, but it was too tight. This gives me more space to fit under the vehicle. I don't know, you can see I already pushed it with the flat screwdriver. So what I did is I pushed it not like this. I pushed it like that and then pressed the red clip and then it popped. So it's very in there. I don't know if you can see. So it's already pressed in. I just pressed the red tab up and then you could hear a little clicking sound. So it means it's already out. So you might have to go under the truck just to pop the clip out. You just do it with the flat screwdriver, just poke it. I had to zoom in with my cell phone so you could see a little bit better. It's a tight space, so get a flat screwdriver, a long one, and pop it out. So now I'm gonna go on top of the vehicle and push the red tab a little bit out, and then press the clip out, and then it should come off. Okay, so I pushed it up right here with my flat screw. Just be careful, it won't slip out. You're gonna hear another clicking. So now I'm gonna press a tab and see if it releases it. I know it's a very tight space, so I'm using my cell phone to show you guys how I'm doing it. If not, I don't know how to keep going. It's a little bit hard because dirt, debris goes in there. Probably gonna have to pry it a little bit with the pick, like a little hook or something, so it could come off. It's a very tight space, and then the dirt debris goes in there, so it's a little bit challenging, but not impossible. I'll tell you that. Okay, so I already pulled the red tab. I don't know, you can see right here. I use the screwdriver. Since it has, on one side it has the lip right here, so I popped it out and it slid off. Be careful not to lose it. think I ended up breaking a little bit on this side. I don't know if you could see, but it don't matter as long as it has this one. If you could find the little part, you could crazy glue it and all that, which it's alright. Just don't lose this part, the red tab. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is press this. You just have to, like, you know, it's a very tight space. You just have to, like, wiggle it out. You could hear the dirt in there, the debris. So it's already out. Has the 3 prongs, the 3 entrance. So it only goes one way. So now that I loosen it, now I'm gonna use the socket. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to get the best angle. So you go counterclockwise. You get the 27mm socket, the 1/2 inch. Then you put it right here. Then you go like that. Make sure it lines up. Trying to guide the socket. There was a clamp down here that was not letting me put in the ratchet because it was getting in the way. I don't know if you could see that struggling. Let me see if I could put it inside the ratchet. It's, I don't know. It just hits everywhere. That's the thing. Everywhere I try to do it, probably gonna need an extension. It'll be more easier. Let me go bring an extension. Okay, so I already got it in. And my ratchet's barely touching the upper radiator hose. So I have enough space so it could come out from here down. Then up and down. So what you do is you turn it counterclockwise, see? To loosen it. See? It's already loosened. So you put it between those hoses right there. I don't know if you can see. Right there. The ones that go to the water pump. So you put it under there and then you put an extension. Not that long, just kind of short. I believe it measures like 4 inches maybe. So I'm already losing the oil pressure switch. Maybe oil was gonna come out, I don't know, because I haven't filled it up with oil yet. Since I'm gonna replace this sensor, didn't want it to drip. You could do it with oil too, but since I'm doing the oil change, might as well, you know, might as well change it before you add oil. So I'm already losing it right here. Should come off in a bit. Like I said, you turn counterclockwise. So it could loosen, and then to tighten it is clockwise. Righty tighty, lefty loosey, you know? So that's what you do it. So now I'm gonna remove the ratchet and see if I already loosened it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe it's 6 threads. This doesn't over tight because it has plastic on the top. So this is how it looks. It doesn't go all the way in. You're just tighten as much as you can, and then that's it. You don't have to put any Teflon or nothing like that. So that's how you do it. There it is, the old one. So I'm gonna take it out of there, and it has the 3 prongs, just like the original. I mean, just like the new one. Match it up. Match it up if it's the same thing. Yep, same old, same old. And the 3 prongs, just like the other one. 3 entrance. So now we're just gonna put it back in. It's just replace and install. I don't know if you can see the hole in there. Trying to focus. Let's see. Right there, the little hole. So that's how you're gonna put it on. You might want to clean it a little bit in that little hole, and then like I said, you just screw it in. Careful not to screw it all the way in, not too much, as you can, because this is plastic and this could crack, and this will separate from this, and you don't want that, and then you have to buy another one. So now I'm just gonna clean it a little bit and tighten it as much as I can inside the little hole, right there where it belongs, and that should be it. Okay, so now I'm tightening it by hand, little by little. And that's a very tight space, so we tighten it little by little. Okay, so now you turn it clockwise to tighten it. Make sure you don't cross thread it, so you start with your finger first before you put in the socket with the extension, and then once it doesn't go no more, you put in the socket with the extension, and then you start with the ratchet. Once it tightens that you can't do it with your hand no more, and you put in the ratchet and make sure it goes straight. You don't want to cross thread it. Okay, so I already tightened as much as I can. I put it kind of like on the passenger side, so it could be pointing almost at the same way it came out, so it could be easy to remove. So you don't tighten it too much. I don't know, you can see right there. Right there you can see it's already in there, not all the way in. Well, kind of like all the way in, but not too much. So it goes right there. So it's like kind of way in there. So now I'm just gonna put in the sensor, the plug. So once you put it in there, make sure it clips. Right there, it clipped. It wasn't clipping because of the dirt. Oh, hold up. Alright, it should be in there. Now I'm gonna put the red tab, which is this one, in there so it won't move. And then we're gonna add the oil, since I did the oil change. Replace the oil filter and see if there's no leaks. This vehicle, the 5.7 liter V8 Hemi, the 1500 2010 Dodge Ram, it requires 7 quarts of oil. We're gonna put the 10W30, and then we're gonna reset the lamp and clear the check engine light from the P0520, which is the oil pressure switch sensor or circuit. Okay, so now I'm gonna press the red tab right here, press it down. It should not come off, or else if it does come out, it means you might get a check engine light. So make sure you put the red tab in, and then right now, like I said, I'm just gonna fill it up, the oil, and then reset the oil lamp and clear out the code of the oil pressure switch. Okay, so no leaks on the oil pressure switch, so it means I did a good job. I already inspected everything, working in good working order. Okay, now I'm done replacing it. So we're gonna clear out the code. Okay, Let's erase codes. Are you sure? Yes, I'm very sure. Yes. Alright, so the check engine light has to go off. So we start the vehicle. So we had to drive it like 50 miles and see if it fixes the problem. If not, it could be the plug or something. So that's how you do it. So now we're just gonna drive it until the light goes off. Let's check the pressure switch. Let's check the fuel economy. Let's see the oil. Let's see how much we got. All right, here, vehicle info, oil temperature, oil pressure is 50. Well, it's almost normal. Should be probably like 55 maybe, I don't know. Let me take out the plug in. Alright, so we're just gonna drive it. Like I said, 50 miles. We're just gonna drive 50 miles. So every time that you change the part, make sure that you clear the code. You could also do it by disconnecting the battery, but me, I just do it with if you have a scanner, you could just do it with the scanner. So yeah. So thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.